Hello. Before we start making our topology, let's have a recap. For TCP/IP OSI models, IOS, PDUs, address schemes, and lastly the ARP process. In TCP and IP, Transmission Control Protocol or Internet Protocol model is the network model used by computer networks today. Compared to OSI model, it has a fewer layers. The layers are application, transport, internet, link. It is usually numbered from the last one to upward. Here is a brief explanation of every layer. Link layer defines the protocols and hardware required to deliver data across a physical network. Examples are Ethernet or cables. Next are the Internet defines the protocol for the logical transmission of packets over the network. Example is the IP addresses. Then the transport. This layer is the responsible for reliable transmission of data and the error-free delivery of packets. And next is the application defines protocol for node-to-node application communication and provide services to the application software running on a computer. The next will be the OSI or Open System Interconnection. It provides a framework for creating and implementing networking standards and devices. And it describes how network applications on different computers can communicate through the network. And the OSI model has 7 hierarchical layers. The layers are physical layer, data link, network, transport, session, and presentation. And lastly is the application. And here's the brief explanation of every layer in OSI model. Physical layer defines how to move bits from one device to another, and the data link combines packets into bytes and bytes into frames. Frames has header and a trailer. And number 3 is the network layer, provides logical addressing used by the routers for path determination. And next will be the transport layer. It provides reliable or unreliable delivery and error recovery and flow control. And the next will be the session layer, which determines how to establish, control, and terminate a session between two systems. And the presentation layer that defines data formats, processes such as compression and encryption. And lastly will be the application layer, provides a user interface and enables network applications to communicate with other network applications. And here is the sample diagram for the comparison of TCP/IP model and the OSI model. The application, presentation, and session layer in OSI model are merged in application layer of TCP and IP model, and the data link and the physical layer of OSI model are merged in the link layer of TCP and IP model. And let's proceed to the Cisco IOS. Cisco IOS are operating system. PCOS help the user to interact with computer and done by a mouse, keyboard, and monitor, while Cisco IOS allows users to interact with Cisco devices. And the ARP process. ARP stands for Address Resolution Protocol. A two-step process, a request and a response. It starts with the initiator sending an ARP request as a broadcast frame to the entire network. This request must be a broadcast because at this point, the initiator does not know the target's MAC address. And therefore, it is unable to send a unicast frame to the target. The node which is the target of the ARP request will then send an ARP response back to the original sender. And let's talk about PDU. PDU stands for Protocol Data Unit. It is a specific block of information transferred over a network. It is often used in reference to the OSI model, since it describes the different types of data that are transferred from each layer. Then, the address schemes. The IP header has 32 bits assigned for addressing. Let's start with putting router, then switch for our network 1 and switch for our network 2, and home router or wireless router for our network 3. And each network in network 1 we have PC, server, and another PC, just like in network 2 with PC, server, and another PC. And for the network 3 is laptop. Since it is wireless, we'll need to use laptop to connect the wireless router. And let's connect every devices to the switches. Then the server, the switch 0, the PC, and do it again to the network 2, and let's connect the laptop to our wireless router. Then put this module, then turn it on. Do the same to the another laptop. Put out the module, put this module, and then turn on, and it will be automatically connected to our wireless router. Then let's connect our router to every switches and to our wireless router. Since we are done connecting them using cables, let's start configuring with router. Enable, then go to the global configuration, set for host name, then this will be our R1, which is router 1. Then put password, enable secret admin. Then to our line console, password admin. Because it is only just a sample, let's make it more simple to avoid confusion. Login, exit, then do the same for our virtual terminal VTY04. Then password admin again, login, then exit. Then we're going to put a banner MOTD, authorize access only. Since we are done putting passwords, let's start putting an IP address for every connection. Let's start with Gigabit Ethernet 00. It is the connection from the router to the network 1. Then put an IP address with 192.168.1.1, then the subnet mask .0. Then no shutdown to enable the configuration. Then exit. Let's go to the another connection, which is the 0/1 for the network 2, IP address 192.168.2.1, 255.255.0. Then no shut again, exit, Then the connection between the router and our network tree, which is the wireless router in gigabit 0/2 IP address 192.168.3.1, then the subnet mask NOSHOT, then exit. Then let's save the configuration by typing this command: copy running -config to start up config. And now the configuration of our router is done. Then before we start configuring again, let's put some label to avoid confusion. We will use 192.168.1.0/24 IP for our network 1. Then for our network 2 is here. For our network 3 will be that 3, and then this server will be the server for our DHCP and email, and this server will serve as our DNS server and FTP server. And now let's configure our DNS first. ipconfig 192.168.2.254 subnet mask. The default gateway here is 192.168.2.1. Then the DNS server will be these two. Now let's go for the DHCP server, and we are going to use DHCP for automatic IP addressing. Then let's proceed. 192.168.254. Default gateway here is 192.168.1.1, and DNS server is the IP address of the server in our network 2. Then before we start configuring the DHCP, let's have the colors for our networks to avoid confusion. Now let's start configuring the DHCP. Services, DHCP. Then this server pool will serve as DHCP for our network 1 default gateway of 192.168.1.1 DNS server. Then change the range to 100 and the maximum users to 102. It can be changed, depends of your preference. Then save. Then add another pool for network 2, then the IP address will be, and then add for network 3, then add. Then let's start configuring the DHCP IP of every devices. DHCP request ping IP address and DHCP request successful. Let's do it for all the devices. Then ipconfig DHCP success for the PC2 desktop. ipconfig DHCP, and it will be failed because we don't configure our router for the helper address yet. Now let's do it. Then go to configure terminal, interface gigabit. Since we are done putting the DHCP on our network 1, let's start with the network 2, which is the gigabit ethernet 01, then IP helper address, then the IP of our DHCP server, which is 192.168.1.254, no shot, then exit. Then let's go to the next network, which is interface gigabit 0/2 IP helper address, then the address of our DHCP server, then no shot, exit, then exit. Then let's save the configuration. Start up config running -conf. Let's try putting the DHCP for the PCs in our network 2. And now it's a success for our PC3. We succeed too. Then let's try for our laptop. We are going to change the IP address of this router, same as the default gateway of its connection. Now let's save. Let's go for the laptop, desktop, ipconfig DHCP. Now it's success. Now it's success. Let's try pinging one device at each network. Let's ping the server network 2, which is 192.168.2.254. if it will reply. At first it will time out, then the rest it will reply. So if we will try again, it will reply fast. Then let's try pinging the IP of this laptop, which is 192.168.3.102. And now it is connected. We are done for DHCP and DNS. Let's proceed to the email. In email, we are going to set up our domain name, which is sample.com. It's the same as the gmail.com or yahoo.com, and then user setup, admin, then admin. Since we use the admin password, we will use again the admin to avoid confusion. Then change it to user 1, user2 admin user3 set. Then let's try the email if it is working. Email, your name, user1 at, then the domain name, which is sample.com. Then the server of the email server is 192.168.1.254. Then put it at the outgoing mail server 2, username 1, then the password is admin. Save. Then here will be user2 at sample.com, user2 admin. Then let's put here another user, which is user3 from server user3, then the password, and now let's try composing an email, then send it to from user1, let's send it to user2 sample.com test. Hi. Then let's check the email of this user2 received, and here is the received email from user1, and let's reply here, hello. Then let's see if user1 will receive the email, and then here it is, the replies from user2. Then let's compose an email for our user3, and the subject test. Then let's see, email received, then let's reply, and here the reply from user3. Now we are done with DHCP, email, DNS, and FTP. Let's proceed to FTP. In FTP, let's make an user, admin, then check it all, then add. Then let's try FTP means file transfer. Then let's try making person text file, hello world, then save it as text. And command prompt, let's see the directory of this device, and you can see here the text file we did lately, and then go to the FTP, and the IP address of our server, which is 2.254, then admin, the password. Then let's see the directory of this server. You can see that there's, in this directory, the text file we did last time is not indicated, so let's put here the text file .txt. Then the transfer complete. Let's see again for the directory of the FTP. We can see here the text .txt is here now. Then let's try getting it with another device. ftp.192.162.254, the username, password, and directory. Let's retrieve this text.txt with a get, then the file name, and then the transfer complete. Then let's see the directory of these devices. The directory of this device. Here we can see the text file are being copied from the FTP server. And let's conclude the DHCP and email server, the DNS and FTP. Then let's proceed setting up the Telnet and SSH configuration. Telnet is the same as the line BTY or our virtual terminal. But before we proceed, I forget to configure our switches. Enable hostname, which is S1. Configure terminal, go to global configuration, hostname S1. Enable secret admin, then to our line console 0, password admin, login, exit, then to our virtual connection, which is BTY04, password admin, login, exit, then put banner MOTD, authorize access only, then exit. Let's configure the switch for our network 2. Enable, go to the privilege, and then go to the global configuration, hostname S2, then enable secret line console 0, password admin, login, exit, then line BTY04, password is the same, which is admin, login, exit, then put banner MOTD, authorize access only. Then we are done configuring out the passwords for our switches. Then let's proceed for the SSH configuration. Then go to the command prompt, telnet, then the IP address or the default gateway used for this network to go to the router 168.1.1. Then password, which is admin, enable admin. So you can see, if we are going to put another PC, someone can spy to our router and can breach to our packets. Then let's try configuring the SSH for more security. Then go to the configure terminal, then start with IP domain name, then will be sample.net. Then let's put encryption key, crypto the key generate, then the type of our key is the RSA. Then how many bits in modules we are going to use? 1024. Then let's make an user. Just type username admin, then privilege. We will set the privilege at its max level, which is 15. Then password is admin 2. Using admin as password is not is not okay, just go with a stronger password. Then go to the line. Now you can see here that the SSH5 enabled. Then go to line VTY04 login local. Then let's transport. In here we are going to specify the transport input of SSH. Input SSH. Now it's done. Let's exit. Then let's log in to the SSH using this device. SSH-L, which is login, then the username and the IP or the default gateway used. Then the SSH is open. Let's type admin, which is the password. Then since we specify the privilege at its max level, it instantly go to the privilege. And now it's done. That's all for our video.